Monkeyboy's YouTube channel is both intersubjectively and stance independently the best, and I'm talking from the heart.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how are
You there, Rising?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, here, Jack. You can talk with this guy.
My argument is one that you already have heard, which is the kalam cosmological argument.
Okay.
So the first premise is everything that begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist. The universe has a cause.
Okay. Yeah, so I take it that there are sort of three basic parts to that argument. There's the first premise, the second premise, and then there's the second stage. Because the conclusion of the argument is that the universe has a cause. And if we were to accept the argument and accept that conclusion, we'd need a further argument to talk about how we could infer that God exists from the fact that the universe has a cause.
Okay, so I believe the conclusion of the argument states that if the cause must be faceless, timeless, immaterial, extremely powerful, and personal.
Yeah.
So I think that's the conclusion of it, and pretty much what does that point to?
Well, Craig said. Well, William Lane Craig, who's basically the person who popularized this argument, has probably done the most to defend it.
I'm getting a lot of background noise, so I don't know if you have to.
William, can you hear me better now if I talk louder?
Yeah.
William Lane Craig, who is the person who's known for popularizing this argument, and who has done the most to defend it of people since probably medieval times. He claims that the cause has to be personal, right? The question is why. What's the reasoning for that?
Well, I guess what I understand of the kalam is that the reasoning is that impersonal means non-rational causes, which would mean mechanistic or automatic, right? Mm-hmm. So they always produce the same effect.
Well, no, because there can be indeterministic causation, and in fact.
No, I'm talking about what impersonal would mean. And
impersonal. There can be impersonal, indeterministic causes.
So you're saying that personal to me would mean rational or agent causes.
That's right.
Right, and impersonal to me would be non-rational causes.
That's right.
So if we go back to I don't know what is that, the second premise of Kamal, where we bring in that's really noisy. If we bring in some scientific evidence, like Big Bang cosmology and the second law of thermodynamics, right? We believe that premise 2, where the universe began to exist, that the universe had a finite beginning, is something that is widely accepted amongst astrophysicists.
Well, I don't think that that's true, but look, we can just grant that.
That's not true.
We can grant that for the sake of argument, right? Because if we're talking about the second stage, if you want to talk about the second premise, we can talk about that instead, right?
But I'm relating that to that being to this non-rational or rational or having an agent cause. If we can point to a finite beginning, right, and we can't point to a cause for that beginning, right, that would make it a rational or agent cause.
No.
Because that means that would have always existed. That means that the universe would have always been.
Doesn't follow. You can have indeterministic causation.
But that would imply that infinity, from philosophical reasoning, cannot exist in like the real world.
Okay, now that's just another claim. I don't see any reason to accept. But look, we can imagine that it's timeless and indeterministic, which is, basically what Craig imagines, right? Craig imagines that God enters time, right? Well, what caused God to do that? Nothing. Right?
But that's not what the supposition is.
You don't think Craig that Craig is on record as saying that God enters time?
No, I'm saying that's not what my supposition is. I'm saying that time began when the universe began.
Yeah, let's
And
grant that.
so therefore, God didn't enter time. He existed before time.
No, there's no time before the beginning of time.
Exactly, but that is what the Christian belief is.
Yeah.
That the Christian belief is that God is timeless and spaceless. That's my assertion.
Yeah, fine.
Right?
Let's grant that God is timeless and spaceless, that there's such a thing, or could be such a thing as atemporal causation. Right. What I'm asking is, why think that if there was an atemporal, timeless, spaceless, very powerful, whatever else, immaterial cause, right, that it was personal?
Well, we're using because if we're saying that it's a rational beginning.
Yeah. No, we're not saying it's rational. Nobody said anything about that.
But
I'm asking why it has to be rational. I'm not granting that it has to be rational.
Well, okay, so you're asking why. Okay, I'll take it step by step.
Okay.
The cause must be timeless and spaceless. We agreed on.
I'm granting that for the sake of argument.
Okay, yeah. So you also said that the cause must be enormously powerful.
Yeah, I'm granting that for the sake of argument. Don't
Okay,
talk about the stuff.
Hold on,
Don't talk about. No. Don't talk about the stuff that I've already granted. I want to deal with the personal part, which you take, and which I'm granting you, includes rationality. Right?
Well, this is my step-by-step reasoning why the cause must be personal. So, but abstract objects can't cause things.
Yeah, we're not saying it's an abstract object.
Well, some timeless entities are abstract, but they're not causally impotent, are they? So the cause must be mind or something with agency, not just an abstract object.
Nobody said it was an abstract object, right?
No,
I'm asking why the concrete cause of the universe has to be personal. If it's atemporal and aspatial and very powerful and immaterial, why does it have to be personal?
Because impersonal causes produce effects automatically.
No! There's indeterministic causation. Did you not hear me say that to you like 3 fucking times? That there's such a thing as indeterministic causation? Did you not hear me say that?
There's no reason to get upset.
Well, I've said it 3 times. Did you not hear it the first 3 times?
I feel like you're getting upset.
I am getting upset because you're not fucking listening. I said to you, there's such a thing, or there can be such a thing as indeterministic causation. Have you heard that now?
Okay, let me put it this way. If the cause of the universe were impersonal and eternal, then the universe should have existed eternally too.
Again,
But the-
God,
Okay.
let's just look at the other model that Craig is proposing.
But I'm talking, you asked me about how do I make it personal.
I'm going to show you how there's a parallel.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you the steps on how I make it personal and you're interrupting.
I asked you for the steps, right? And then you said if it was something impersonal, it would have existed eternally, right? It would have necessitated the outcome.
No, I said if the cause of the universe were impersonal and eternal. It's a conditional. Then
Yeah.
the universe should have existed eternally too.
Right, and I'm saying that is begging the question against indeterministic causation.
And then I said, to explain a timeless cause producing a temporal effect, you need will.
That's the assertion I'm asking you to justify.
Yes, only a personal agent can exist.
That's repeating the claim.
This means it's not a deterministic mechanism, but a free personal being who chooses to create the universe.
Okay, I think this is like done. I don't know. You want to keep talking to this guy? This guy's like, he's like an AI.
You can come back.
Just
If you've got
lost
other
in the
people,
same
if you've got
talking
other
loops.
people in the queue, you might as well bring somebody up who's actually going to listen. You can come back another time when there's nobody else in the queue.
He's just, I don't understand this guy. He's just repeating
You've
the
actually
same shit.
booted me a couple times already, but I still enjoy coming on. The last time you booted me off, I think you had another gentleman that had made the statement. I was using the kalam argument,
Okay.
and he had made this.
I'm gonna bring Jmike up because he's rarely ever up. Even though this is one-on-ones, you get a pass. You're the homie, anyways. What's going on?
Oh yeah, I can leave though. It's cool.
No, you're good. You get a pass. Green card.
So
Yeah, I'll mute.
So I used the kalam argument, and he said, "What if the cause was indeterministic?" You remember the conversation or not?
Oh yeah. Jack got really mad.
And
Yeah,
then,
yeah. Wow. To be
And then
fair, I mean,
I proceeded
you were
with the
just going in
conversation.
circles.
Yeah, because when he said indeterministic, I, I'm automatically assuming that a cause can't be indeterministic. The cause of the universe can't be indeterministic because there is no time.
Why couldn't the cause be indeterministic?
Because there is no time. In order for something to be randomly occur at a specific moment in time, a random act to occur, time has to exist.
I don't really get. Maybe let's just start from the ground up. So you're running the kalam.
He,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I try? I mean, because if you're just saying, because presumably you think God's outside of time, right?
Yes, but the argument
Yeah,
was
that's fine. That's fine. Like you don't have a problem with these causes outside of that aren't temporal. Nonetheless, they're not indeterministic. But if they're non-temporal and indeterministic, you're like weirded out by that.
No. We started off the argument deciding that he agreed that, hey, my faith determined that God is timeless, doesn't occur in space. We made these, we agreed to these certain to get to the meat of my argument, right? So I made some assertions, and just for the sake of the argument, he agreed to them. And then when I got down to impersonal cause or personal cause, and I defined impersonal as being a rational cause, and then I defined personal to be a non-rational cause. And then he says, well, you can have an indeterministic cause.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm stating now, like, I ignored that he said that because something.
Wait, hold on, I'm trying to track. So you have an issue with there being deterministic causes? Simplicator?
No, this was the final step to my argument, was stating that the cause had to have been a personal cause, which means that it was a non-rational cause.
Hold on. Look. It seems like you had an issue with like there being indeterministic causes or some like non-temporal.
What I'm following is Jack granted the stage one argument, and then there was a question of intentional or non-intentional causation, and then he was like question begging against a view that's like some indeterministic cause. Somehow, I don't really recollect that conversation. I mean, I could get Jack, but
Yeah, but look, if the idea, what he had said is that he said no, you can't have that, and so the options are some indeterministic cause, which you just told me you're fine with, right? Because I have an example.
I'm not fine with the indeterministic cause. What I'm saying is that the cause cannot be indeterministic.
Hold on. So let's be clear. You're saying so you don't think that there can be causes such that they're indeterministic, correct?
Not for the cause of the universe. No.
I'm just asking if that. Okay. Okay, that's odd. Okay, so you don't think so? Let's give an example. So imagine that like me and monkeyboy are in a Play-Doh factory, and the Play-Doh factory, we're like in the red division of the Play-Doh factory, so we're only creating red Play-Doh, right? And all of a sudden it produces blue Play-Doh, right? So we check the cameras and the machines, and we're 100% confident. In fact, we know there's no mistake. No one messed with anything. Everything's operating the same, right? In red, out red. But instead, in red, out blue, right? Now, what would explain that is that there's some indeterministic link between the machine, right? Between like the input and the output of the machine, such that it causes.
I agree that randomness can.
Hold on. Right. So we're not going to have like an explanation of like why it's green rather than blue or blue rather than pink, but there's a cause. There's some indeterministic cause.
Yes.
Okay. Now from there, help me understand what your problem is, right? Whether it's like the first node, the second node, whether it's temporal, whether it's a non-metric time, metric time. What's the issue? You're not helping.
The issue is temporal. The whole point in your example is that you can have randomness because time exists in your example. But for the cause of the universe, it can't be indeterministic because time does not exist.
No, look, if you're saying that there's like, wait, is what's granted outside of time? Is that I'm trying to make sure I'm understanding what's being granted.
What I'm saying is that the cause of the universe, time started when the universe started. So the cause
yeah, you can have an indeterminate time that starts necessarily, and then like the subsequent events be indeterministic.
No, the requirement for indeterminism or indeterministic causes is that it requires time. It happens at a specific moment in time. There is no moment in time if time doesn't start until the universe is created.
You've already granted that there are like atemporal causes, right?
Say again?
You've already granted that there are atemporal causes, right?
But those things happen because they're happening in time.
How is it
there
not
is no time before the universe is created?
I'm actually not convinced that's your view, because I think what your view is going to amount to is probably some type of indeterministic causation. So hold on, let me just ask you, why does God create the initial state that He does rather than any other initial state or no initial state at all? Why does He?
What I was trying to prove, I wasn't trying to.
I don't care. I don't. Hold on, stop.
I was
I don't
showing
care.
the evidence of
I don't
God.
care about that. I don't care about that. I want to know this.
But that's the argument. It's the evidence of God. You're asking me a different
I
question.
just want to point something out to you.
Okay.
Why does God create the initial state that you think He did create rather than some variation of that initial state or no initial state at all? What's the reason?
I'm not God. I don't know His
You
causes.
don't know His reasons. Okay. So but it could have been otherwise, right?
It could have been, but it wouldn't stop.
So it's contingent, right? And you don't know the reasons, so we know it's brute from at least like your epistemic vantage point, right? But like, what if we went further, right? Like, what if it was, well, it's because He has this desire over another desire. Okay, well, why does He have that desire rather than any other desire?
It's not about desires. It's about proving whether or not
Listen,
a timeless.
I'm trying to understand. Look, you think God's free, right? To create.
We're not. You're bringing up stuff that has nothing to do with my argument.
Oh, it does. Just walk through this with me. God's free, right?
I don't mind walking through with you, but you have to attack. You have to attack my premises.
Yeah,
you
just try for a second. Just try
But you
for a
gotta
second.
poke. But you've got to poke.
Try for a second. Just try for a second. Does God have libertarian free will?
What was that?
Does God have libertarian free will?
I do not know. I am not God.
So you don't know. You don't know if God has libertarian free will.
I do not know. I am not God.
Okay.
It doesn't say. Doesn't tell me God's. Doesn't tell me everything. The Bible doesn't tell me everything about God.
Okay.
And that's not my point. My point was to prove that a timeless space.
Presumably it does, though. Presumably it does aid you in certain theological.
That is your assumption. We're talking about a logical argument here. You're assuming things.
Telling me that you've read the Bible and you don't. You've read the Bible and you don't think that creation's a free gift.
This is not what my premises are.
It is. Just
No,
if you walk through this,
my premises has nothing to do with
creation. Is a free,
my premises.
do you think creation is a free gift? Yes or no?
Can we stick to my argument?
Yes. Just walk through this with me. I promise it'll make sense. Do you think creation?
No, you're not attacking any one of my premises.
Do you think creation?
No, you're not attacking any one of my premises. You're just making up other things.
You're just being very obtuse, right? So just
You
follow.
gotta just follow him.
Do you think that creation was
Just
a free
asking me questions. I don't have to answer those questions.
If you just say you don't know, that's fine. But then I'll point out something else, right? But I just
But you
want
haven't pointed to any
I'm
one of
not
my.
trying to straw man you, and I want to know what you actually think, and you're making it difficult for me.
You don't need to know what I actually think to
With
prove your argument.
Jmike's trying to show we can make parity reasons given
Yeah,
the
but you don't
commitments you
need
might
to
be
prove-
having.
Yeah, look, my point is that if you
To
have an
prove my
issue-
argument is false.
Yeah,
Hold on.
okay, let me explain to you what I'm trying to do. My point
But
is
to prove my
my
argument
point
is false,
is that
you
you
don't
have
need to know my individual beliefs.
stop. My point is that you have an issue with indeterminate causation that's atemporal. You've already told me that God causes the initial state of the universe, and that's some type of atemporal
That's
cause.
not what I said at all.
Oh, so then you're just retracting what you
What?
said?
That's not what I said. What I said is I can give
Well,
you
am I
evidence
wrong?
of God.
Did he not say that?
I said I can give you.
You said the
evidence
cause would
of
have to
God.
be outside space and time. So it's a
It is-
timeless cause.
Nope.
Yeah.
I said it has to be out of
Atemporal
space,
causation.
time, and it has to be.
Okay, so it's atemporal. It's
Yeah.
It
atemporal.
has to be personal.
What the fuck? Why are you fighting with me?
No,
You
there's
just
there's
but I-
multiple stages, not just three.
okay, oh my god. Okay, nonetheless, it fits the only thing I care about. Thank you, appreciate it. Moving on for that waste of time. Great.
Well, can something indeterministic? You have an indeterministic
Hold
cause.
on.
that happens
Let
outside
Jmike walk you through it.
My point
But
is,
can you have an
point
indeterministic
is,
cause?
shut the
that
fuck
comes outside?
up. Shut the fuck up. My point is, seriously, you're annoying as fuck. My point is,
I muted him.
is that if you have some view where God causes the universe, the creation's a free gift. He was free to create some other initial state rather than no initial state or none at all. What I suspect is that there's going to be some brute contingency going on. And when I analyze your view of freedom, right, if it's the view that I think that you're trying to elucidate, what's going to happen is that it's going to be some type of genus or species of indeterminacy. So it's just going to be true that you yourself think that there's a personal cause that indeterministically causes things that are where he himself is doing it atemporally, right? So you yourself would just be committing a foul of the thing that you're objecting to, right? That might have been Jack's point initially. I don't know Jack's point, but I'm trying to find out your view because maybe you don't hold that view, but you're making it very difficult for me. But what I suspect is that you actually fall foul of that view yourself, that there is an indeterministic cause and it's atemporal, right? And it's not clear why somebody couldn't also just mirror that dispositionally without it being personal, especially when the thing that you're trying to fight against is something that you need foundationally in order to get the initial state in the first place.
Okay, so now what I'm going to say is, when you have a debate on a topic, you don't necessarily have to believe or not believe or believe in the topic, all right? You don't have to believe in the topic to have a debate. So you don't have to find out what my beliefs are. All you have to do is poke holes in my argument. You don't have to. I've never been to a debate where I'm sitting on a debate team and somebody wants to know what my personal beliefs are when I'm debating a topic. What you have to prove. What you have to. Listen to me. What you have to prove. You had your talk.
Oh my God.
What you have to do is, and we have a moderator here. Am I right? What he has to prove is that my argument. He has to make my argument fallible. In order to make my argument fallible, he has to look holes in my argument, correct? And if somebody says, if I'm saying that indeterminate things cannot happen outside of time,
you want him to formalize this argument, point out that it's invalid. I don't even know what the premises are.
You don't have to know my personal beliefs in order to prove my argument incorrect.
Go ahead and rattle the.
Look, he's saying he has a suspicion that you're being inconsistent theologically because you affirm that proposition, which it seems like is true.
What do you mean? I don't have
given
to,
the conversation.
Just like you told me before, you don't have
well,
to.
if you think that God has libertarian freedom, then you can just, of course, offer some causally indeterministic or some first cause that's.
You told me before, when I asked you your personal beliefs, that the personal beliefs don't need to enter into the conversation. You just have to prove what I'm saying.
I said questions don't matter to rendering an argument. It's different when you render an argument and we're seeing whether you're consistently affirming the premises given what certain candidate metaphysics or philosophical views are made out given your theology, right? If you think God, given you believe, presumably, that creation's a free gift, right? Seems like you're sensitive to or sympathetic to a specific view, right? Like God has libertarian free will. And if that's true, then obviously you can have indeterminate causation.
So that's what you want me to do. You want me to say something and contradict my premises. But what I'm saying is that you have to prove that indeterministic causes can happen outside of time. That was my last premise to my argument.
The point is that that's exactly what we're showing, that you think that.
See, no, you're trying to find out something else because you know that indeterministic things cannot happen outside of time. You know it. You know it's true.
This guy.
Do you know it's true? Is it true or false that indeterminism requires time? Yes or no? So random things can happen.
Not by your own lights.
So random things can happen without time.
By your lights, yep.
So then you're the ones that are lying. Because if you go ahead, like the last person you had on the phone,
by your own lights, that's true.
Go ahead and put on your ChatGPT.
You don't deny scripture.
Ask your ChatGPT if indeterministic causes can happen without time.
Oh my God! Like what the fuck? That's the worst thing you could dude.
Well, that's what you guys keep on doing on this show. You don't let people talk, and then when somebody says something, it's
we're going to help you, and I'm going to tell the audience to just.
You want to try to make my personal beliefs contradict my arguments. That's what you're trying to do. Instead of dealing with my premises.
Stop. You're terrified. Stop.
I'm not terrified.
Hard because you only speak. I'm gonna let the audience.
I let you speak for a good 3 minutes.
Fuck up.
And you just want to know my personal beliefs.
All right. Hold on. Just listen.
Okay, I'll listen again.
I'm gonna cut him a favor. Don't ridicule him for the ChatGPT thing. Go easy. That was really lame. But we're gonna move past that. Okay, so presumably, like you accept the Bible. I mean, you accept
No, thanks for the whale. Gracias, AG.
You presumably accept like Romans 6:23, like the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal.
Why are we going into the Bible right now? We're going on my premises. Because you have to prove my premises wrong.
Yeah, I'm trying to show you. Yeah. Okay, so let me give you a little.
Bring up the kalam.
There's not a need for independent argument if we can extract that commitment from your own view, right? By your lights, that proposition's true. So there's not need for like independent inferential support.
This is exactly like when Dr. Loke and Dr. Graham Oppie had a debate, and after the debate, Dr. Loke, Andrew Loke, went on Facebook and said that Dr. Graham Oppie committed a 2 quo K fallacy, where he didn't actually attack what Loke was saying, and was rather like, oh, but what about this?
What you're saying is you have nothing to contradict my argument.
The point is that something went wrong there. That if Loke didn't recognize that what happened in that dialectic was that Oppie's pointing out, look, but Andrew, if you think that view affects what I'm saying, it also affects your view, right? It's one of these, if you're going to bring me down, I'm bringing you down with me kind of moves, right? Which is a totally valid move to make. and I'm
Jmike, please.
trying to shut the fuck up. I'm trying to point out.
Jmike, please. You're just babbling on and on and on and on and on and on.
Mute this piece of shit. You're too fucking stupid to realize that you're probably committed to the same view that you're espousing. You're just being very difficult.
I do not even have to be committed to my debate. I don't have to be committed to that at all. I'm not trying to prove, I'm not trying to change you from atheist to Christian. I'm not trying to make you agnostic. All I'm doing is debating a topic. You want to know what I believe.
Yeah, and if look, okay, do you think that if I gave an argument,
Have you ever been on a debate team?
Hey, listen, dude, if I gave an argument where part of what I'm trying to say that's supposed to bring your view down is something that I also believe, don't you think that brings my view down too? Right? If I charge you with
They do this on a debate. They don't do this in a debate.
yeah, actually, listen.
They don't do it. They won't
Let's
allow
just
you
let's
to
just
ask me
cut the
my
meta.
personal beliefs.
Just cut the meta altogether. Let's just try and get back to.
Well, just answer this
Yeah.
question. Just answer this question. If we were in the dialectic where I gave you some type of argument that showed your view had this issue, but my view also committed that issue, do you think that would be favorable for me, or do you think that would affect me just as much as it affects you?
All I'm telling you is my personal belief matters to my argument.
You can't even answer a question.
Just answer the question.
But why do I need to answer a question that has nothing to do with my argument?
How are you
doesn't say,
this?
What is the top? Look on the
How are
top.
you
One-on-ones only. Must be sensitive to reason.
It does have to do with your argument.
Read the top of it.
Answer the fucking question, you dolt. You're a fucking dolt.
I don't need
Listen.
to answer any question other than what my premises are.
Look, you know, I know how difficult
Whenever
it is.
you
I'll
want,
answer for you.
Jmike, you can tell me when you want them
Yeah,
dispatched.
look, yeah, we'll just dispatch this soon. Sorry, but like this guy's probably one of the dumbest fucking people I've ever talked to. The answer is yeah. If I had a view where what I wanted to do to give an undercutting defeater for your view ends up being an undercutting defeater for me, or a rebutting defeater for me, right? What ends up happening is like that affects my view, right? I probably shouldn't have made that move. I mean, I should make that move if what I care about is like being honest. I could point out that, hey, you know what, now that I think about it, both of our views suffer this issue, right? So we should probably go back to the drawing board, right? But you're just so fucking dishonest, you can't even answer that.
No,
right?
what I'm saying is you're not asking me to be you're not asking me a question that forces me to be honest or dishonest about my premises. My premises don't require honesty.
You don't have premises. If I asked you to actually give me the premises of the argument, they'd be invalid. I saved you a favor of looking stupid, right? I guarantee you would have given me something formally invalid. Guarantee it. If you honestly,
This guy's saying in the
Back up,
chat,
just
Jmike
looking
doesn't
up.
know meta logic.
yeah.
Little precept with the Sonic PFP. Feel free to come up.